Prophet.
Yes.
Thank you very much for welcoming us.
You're welcome.
Into this is very exciting. I mean, I get excited when I get into farms like this.
Yeah.
I've been watching you on YouTube and on TikTok, and I was like, no, this is not a Ghanaian. So for my viewers watching me, I want you to let us know where you are from, or just a background. Let's see if you are truly a Ghanaian. Because I didn't believe a Ghanaian can do this.
Yeah. I'm a Ghanaian. Obviously, you know. My mom is my dad is from Bono region. Okay. You know, from Brokum to be precise. You know, I was born in Accra, but I grew up in Brokum. So till, you know, after high school, I actually went to Doma Senior High School before I graduated and started going to university in London and then in the US as well. So I'm a typical Ghanaian. It's not a mix, it's nothing. I was actually raised here. I only started going to the US when I was, you know, already above 18. So yes, I'm a Ghanaian.
So did you start the farm? Now, when you said you were from Bono, I know you took the farming nature from Bono, and not the Ghana, because you don't do farming.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you start farming before you traveled, or it was when you returned?
You know, if you understand our village, then you know that, you know, in Africa, our context, farming is part of us, you know. So I would say I started farming as a kid because I would follow my mom to the farm. It was crop farming, it was subsistence farming, it was just we farming to feed ourselves. So none of us saw it as an opportunity, as a business or something we'll grow into it. But personally, you know, I always loved animals. Even when I was young, I had rabbits. I grew rabbits till, you know, I had to go to high school. That's when I sold them, you know, and went to high school. And just like every family, every African, the goal is to grow and get a white-collar job. So I also passed through the system of education to get a job, you know. But little did I know that my destiny was going to bring me back to where I started. So that's the story behind it.
They say you don't go to school to come and farm.
Yes.
So it's very interesting to see somebody like you, you know, getting yourself involved in agric.
Yeah.
But my question is, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And you are one of the people that motivated me to even start this channel.
Oh, wow.
I watched one video, I think the first video I watched of you were interviewing a farmer that was very young and has started
pepper farm. Yes.
And I was like, wow, so you can be young and start this.
Yeah.
But a lot of videos I'm watching, it looks like it's people that have traveled outside Ghana that can do something like this.
Yeah.
My problem is, we want to incite the young people to go into agric.
Yeah.
But when I watch YouTube, I don't see the local boys like me doing something like this. What is the motivation? Do I need to travel and get money? Do I need money to start?
Yeah.
First, what is the motivation that made you start this? And what will it take for a local person to also start doing something like this?
Yeah. I think that's a very intelligent question. What motivated me? To me, I see myself personally, I'm an entrepreneur, you know. Throughout my life, I've been starting businesses. I started my first business when I was 18, you know, right here in Ghana, still making money before I even traveled. You know, I started seeing dollars before I went to the US. So, you know, I see myself as an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs, what we do in our communities is we solve problems. And I'm more of an impact entrepreneur. So I look at problems in my community and providing solution to it. And that led me to starting this farm because I have a school. And in my school, I realized that the kids weren't being fed with enough protein. So I bought a cow and slaughtered it for the entire school. So it lasted for about 3 months. And I was like, if this is what we're going to do, how often can we buy a cow? Should we start a farm? Right? So we started a school farm. And when we started, I was like, I don't want to do things anyhow. I want to do it right. So in order to do it right, I needed to learn. So I started researching. And by then, there was no agric YouTube channel. There was only one man from UTV that was interviewing farmers and nothing really on cattle or livestock. So that's when I said, okay, I'm going to start this farm and do it well. And the people that I will visit to didn't want to share the information with me. So I said, then I'm going to start this YouTube channel and make sure that everything is out there so that the next person that want to start can have something. So that's why I started it. The second part of your question is, do you need to be in abroad or travel to start? Honestly, no, right? I think mostly there are two things. Some of us that have traveled outside or have the opportunity to travel outside, we are able to have the exposure and see how things are done different, right? You can only dream as far as you've seen or you think is possible. If you're living in a village where the houses there are all mud houses, and they ask you, when you grow up, what would you like to build? You say, I'd like to build a big mud house. But till you see that you can build a mansion, then now you can dream it, right? So those of us who have had the opportunity to travel, we are able to dream that, right? As compared to maybe somebody who hasn't traveled and what he's seen is Fulani men following cows. Then that's all you have. But now with the technology that exists, right, the world has become a global world where you can sit in your village and be able to have access to what is out there. In terms of the finances, it differs. I didn't make my money from the US or from anywhere. I worked here. All my businesses have been here. So I will consider myself a local when it comes to the capital to start, right? But mostly you have to start from somewhere. I had the vision because of what I've seen, but what I'm building here is unique. Like, even South Africans that do goat farming, they are sending their people here to come and learn this model, right? So I've traveled, I've seen a lot of different farms, but that's not what I built. I picked the ideas, combined it together, and created something that works for us, right? So what I'm trying to say is, if you're local and you haven't traveled, it shouldn't prevent you from doing this. You can study on the internet, put it together, and create something of your own that works, right? And in terms of the money, trust me, you can never have enough. As I'm standing here, there's still a lot I have to do here, but I'm limited. But at least, exactly, you do what you can and you grow.
That leads me to my next question. How do you get funding to do all of this?
I mean, you have to start from somewhere, man. My first pen wasn't like this. It was in my house. Yes. So I bought board. The board. Yeah. So you bought board. I think it was 12 CDs for one. I bought about 60 of them and built something. One. That's all. And I bought 2 goats. Wow. You understand? So if you're a young guy watching me and you're doing something, you're working, start by buying even 2 goats every month, local goats. Even if they are 1,500, 2,000, buy 2 every month. And what are you going to see? What you're going to see is that by the end of the year, if you're buying 2, you'll be getting 24. Those 2 will give birth averagely 2. So you're multiplying that by 2 as well, right? And then you're growing. One day, yes, maybe your goal is to have a foreign goat. You combine them, you sell 10, maybe you can buy 1 foreign goat. Then you start from there. That 1 foreign goat in a year will give birth to you once. You're going to get 2 kids. By the end of the year, you have 3 of the foreign goats. And then gradually. But if you don't want to go through the process, then you got to find the money somewhere. We all went through the process. It's taken me 5 years to get here. But when I was starting, nobody knew me. Nobody knew the hard work, the effort, the planning that was going into it, right? So you got to start from somewhere.
Very motivating. So a lot of young guys are traveling out of Africa for greener pastures.
Yeah.
But I'm looking around, seeing a lot of pastures here.
Yes.
That we can utilize. But what they are not telling us is the challenges.
Yeah.
A lot of videos on YouTube. Go into agric, you make money. Go into agric, you make.
Yeah.
I know anything you give your time and energy to will pay off. What you are not telling us is the challenges.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you faced?
Yeah.
And people that we are actually asking them to come in will also likely to face.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked this question because, like you said, I actually did a video about that where especially all the content creators out there, and you and myself are included, we try to exhibit only the good stuff. Become a millionaire farmer. Somebody will come and interview me and say, a millionaire farmer, but I wouldn't say what is behind our millions or the challenges that went to it. Right. So I'm glad you brought this to light. The challenges that exist, and it's real. And it is real because we don't have the fundamentals right, and the infrastructures are not set up for us to be a farmer or a businessman just invest in this and succeed. Let's take it for example. If you want to go into real estate and you have maybe $1 million sitting somewhere, you pick that money, you get yourself a land, you have a plumber, you have a carpenter, you have an architect, you have an electrician that you can trust, and they will come and do the work for you. So you, the businessman, you're just focused on getting your money and putting in the business and getting your return and working out your operation costs and so on. When it comes to farming, most of the time those infrastructures are missing, right? So if you want to go into livestock farming, number one, you need a genetic. There is something we call the 5 pillars of a successful livestock farmer here. One of them is genetic. So you need a breed. The breed that we have here are not the best of breeds. So even if I'm producing for milk, our goats cannot produce enough milk. I have a goat here that produces 3 liters of milk a day. 3 liters, right? These goats that you see are weighing about 80 to 120 kg. So if I'm producing for meat, there's value in it. So the genetic matters. So you, the farmer, you're even starting wrongly with the wrong genetic. How do you make the money? Number 2 is nutrition. The food you're going to eat, they're just like living beings. You can't just let them roam eating anything. You have to supplement them. They have microminerals, and all the raw minerals that they need. Who is going to support you with those feeds so that you can feed your animals well? So even if you get a genetic from me and you bring it, where are you getting your feed from? Right? So that's one. Then there is the health. If your animal is sick. I met a gentleman who told me, Fred, before I met you, anytime my father and our goats is sick, we will eat it. Because we didn't
want it to die.
They didn't even know goats have medicine. Or there are vaccines to use.
Wow.
Right? So those are the challenges that farmers don't have support. Right? We're relying only on our veterinary service, but it's not enough. We need private sectors in it. We need more of them in the villages where the farmers are that can rely on them 24/7 to support them. So these are some of the infrastructures. I mean, you look at the infrastructure we've built here. It's money. It takes somebody doing it for you to know so that you can copy it and do it, right? So some of these infrastructures to support the business is missing. And therefore, if you go in blindly without considering all these things, then you will fail. Even the management, people to hire, the university graduate in agriculture that you're hiring, right from university, he wants to make money. There is no commercial farm to pay him, so he doesn't have practical experience, right? So how are you even going to get the right person to manage your farm? Right, so these are the challenges. I can go on and on and on and on, but they are real. And if you don't tackle them, you will fail. If your infrastructure is not right, you will be exposed to parasites, they will die. If you don't have the right medications, your animals will get sick, you can't treat them. Don't have the right feed, they will grow lean and they will die. And that's just animal. Crops is no difference. There is so many ways how to apply fertilizer, soil test, the variety of crop you're using, and all of these things. So it makes agriculture difficult. So we can start putting those measures and supporting system in place to support farmers, we're just going to be failing. And that's why, this year I actually made a decision to slow down and not build a big farm, but rather focus on tackling some of these issues, because in a way we are frontlining the livestock industry, right? So now you come to our farm, we prepare the feed, we have a medication plan, we've built and open our farm to people to come and see so that they can learn the infrastructure and build it themselves. So in a way we're trying to support in a way that other farmers can not go and make the mistake and lose their money that they are investing into. So if you ask me why, this is it. But the opportunity, does it exist? Yes, it does. we get orders all the time that we can fulfill. You know, all the chobbers in Accra, in Kumasi, they all kill goats. Where are they getting their goats from? You know, some are even going all the way to Burkina, to Mali to buy goats. So if you're a young man and you have goats and you can sell even 2 goats, 2,000 every day, that's cash flow for you. And if you give yourself 5 goats, 10 goats, and you give yourself 4 years, right, those goats will multiply like something, and you can start selling them. So the opportunity is it, but how do you keep that goat alive and healthy for the 5 years? That's your challenge.
I know farming pays.
Yeah.
You know, in the Bible, I don't know if you're a Christian.
I'm a Christian, yeah.
You know, in the Bible,
Yeah.
before these mansions and luxurious cars, you know, became, you know, the measure of wealth. The measure of wealth was actually in the number of cows or cattle you have, goats. So when you read about it, say, and Abraham was wealthy and he had this number of cows. So I always thought that agriculture can make you wealthy. So what was missing was the challenges, and that's what you've done, you know, justice to. So it pays. Fred has done it for 5 years to be here. So when you are going into it, know that you have to go through certain challenges. Thank you so much, Fred.
You're welcome.
I'll be wrapping up soon, but I need you to run us through what you have here and what you've been doing. I even saw some people coming in here to learn. So I think you have some educational facilities or support. Is it paid? Can anyone just, you know, apply and come? So that for people that I am advocating farming, if they want to come and learn, what are the processes? What do you do so that they will know?
I think you know, we are all over social media, from YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. So look for Farming in Africa. You get a phone number there, reach out to us. I have a team specially focused on training, actually a company that's just focused on training. And for the next few months, that's why we are building this summer hut. We're just going to be focusing on training people. So every Friday we open our farm up for people to come visit and then get the training, practical training, people that are serious about it. So get in touch with us. We're also thinking about going to universities and educating them about what we do here, exposing them to it. And there's so much more that we are hoping to do. But now what this farm is a learning and development farm. We're doing a lot of new technologies. We are testing feed, we are testing medication, we are doing artificial insemination here. So all these things, we hope that we can use this farm to get it right and then expose it to everybody who wants to go into goat farming, you know. And then the business aspect as well, which is key to every business, making sure that, you know, at the end of the day it's profitable, you know. So anybody that wants to visit us, you're welcome. Get our contact. I'm sure you'll put it in somewhere as well. Exactly. Get our contact, get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to walk you through.
My final question.
Sure.
Are you fulfilled?
Am I fulfilled? I think fulfillment, yes. Am I fulfilled? Yes. I mean, this is one of the places that really gives me peace. Like when I come here, I mean, I feel like I'm in my environment, you know, seeing these animals give birth, you know, go through the processes of, you know, when they are small, you have to guide them to breastfeed, then they are stronger. You know, we have 3 different gestation pens. So once you give birth, we keep you at a treatment center where we keep you for about 2 weeks. Then we will move you to the gestation pen there. Then from there, we'll move you here. So it's really like babying, you know, and then seeing them through all that process, getting sick, healing them. It's some sort of a joy. And like you said, you know, when you have passion for this, you will feel fulfilled. It doesn't matter whether you're selling or not, but just being here, being around them, you know, it's very fulfilling for me. And I can be here all day just watching them eat or watching them do their own thing, you know. So yes, I am. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
This has been a very insightful interview, and I'm very much grateful you allowed us in.
Of course. And don't wait too long. I'm hoping by a year time come back, because this place will be different.
I will come back.
Sure. Come back.